Hello there wonderful people, I'm Olivia and this is Olivia's Catastrophe, and today we're going to be talking about the biggest catastrophe of them all. My book hoarding catastrophe. It's a huge problem. I just can't seem to cure myself of it, and every book haul I say I'm going to buy less and then I never do, so you know what? Scratch that. I just haul all the books every month and maybe the opposite will happen. I can dream, right? So let's get right onto the books because I have quite a few to get through. I've got 3 sections for this book haul, and the first section is the biggest, and this is a bunch of books that was given to me by Fiza Bookaholic. She's a bookstagrammer. I'll leave a link to her bookstagram below, and she lives in the same country as me. She had some books that she's going to give away, and she asked me, do you want any of these books? And I chose 4, and then she was like, okay, I'll send them, but do you mind paying? And then she was like, oh, but the shipping cost is pretty high. Do you mind paying for the shipping costs? I was like, sure, no problem. And she's like, oh, because of that, I'll just throw in an extra lot of goodies. And then she threw in like 10 more books. So she gave me a lot of books, and she gave me some other lovely Christmas things like rings, nail polish, a card. It was such a beautiful, lovely package. So thank you so much, Fiza Bookaholic. And I did send you a little thank you thing in return. It's very small, but I hope you like it anyway. So now let's get on to the books that she gave me. The first book she gave me is Even the Stars Look Lonesome by Maya Angelou. I actually requested this one. It was one of the 4 that I requested because it just, Maya Angelou, you know? I've heard so many good things about her. I've read some of her poetry and I really wanted to try a book by her for once, so I asked for this one. I also requested Sarah's Place by Elizabeth McKenna. I requested this one because I actually have it as an ebook for review, and I saw that she had a paperback version and I'd prefer to read it in paperback. So I'll review this one as I'm supposed to be doing, and I'll just read the paperback instead. Biggest Bites Back is a short story collection all about vampires by various authors. We've got Sarissa Glass in here, J.M. Jeffries and Monique Lamont. And I just thought this is going to be interesting because I really like vampires. I'm a Twilight fan, hardcore Twilight fan, so anything vampires really works for me, and I'll be interested to read some more short stories about them. 2 Jennifer Eccles books. One of them is The One That I Want and Forget You. They both are about different things, but just to summarise them pretty quickly, they are both chick lit books, so it's like a romance that's fun and contemporary. I know one of them, I believe it's this one, deals with a car crash and that's involved somehow, and The One That I Want is involved with a heartthrob who comes back to town. Oh, when a star football player comes back to town. That's even better, you know. Black and Blue by Anna Quindin. I actually have no idea what this one is about, but it's got a stamp that says Book Operas Club, which makes me seriously happy because for my 2016 Pop Sugar Challenge, I need to read a book that was once part of Opera's monthly book club, and seeing as this one falls under that category, I think I'll be picking up this one this year for the book club. One that I need to read, so I'm very happy to have this. Also gave me Scandal in Popper Lake by Marilyn Papano, and this one is a suspense romantic thriller, so there's a romance going on. I think it might get a little bit heated, and as well as that there's an unresolved murder and a curse involved, which I think is a pretty interesting combination, and I'm hoping I'm going to enjoy this one. A Twist of Fate is another book by Beverly Clark that I actually know nothing about. I know it's got a lot of romance involved somewhere in some way, and I was trying to read the blurb to gather a lot of it, but it's got the old library sticker on the back of it, which is kind of annoying, but I can't read what this one's about. You know what though, I'll just read the book and then I will just know what it's about, so I'm gonna look forward to reading this one. Gave me The Colour of Trouble by Diane Davis. I'm so interested to read this one because I read the blurb and it's about a girl who is coloured, and because she's coloured she thinks that she can't be racist because she's coloured, you know? But also the fact that she breaks up with her boyfriend because he's white and other things that point to her being racist, and then she's suddenly hit hard by the fact that she is racist herself even if she is coloured. So I think it's a very interesting twist on things because you don't read many books about black people who are racist towards white people or other races. It's mostly just, you know, the classic slavery kind of trade kind of thing. So I think it'll be very interesting to see this kind of twist on what you normally get. She also gave me Crown of Midnight by Sarah J Maas. I've heard so many things about the Throne of Glass series. It's on my to be read. I really want to read it, but I actually didn't own any of the books until now. I am well aware that this is the second book, so I can't read it now, but now that I have the second book, I have a lot of initiative to go and buy the first book so I can actually read this one, which is making me very happy. I'm so glad that I could get this. Thank you so much, Visa. She gave me Babyville by Jane Green, and this was another one that I requested. It's about a girl who really wants a baby, and she has a boyfriend right now. It's really not working with her boyfriend, so they think if we have a baby maybe things will get better, but she's quickly realizing that she wants a baby more than she wants her boyfriend, which is an interesting situation, and I wonder how she's going to resolve that issue. And I've also heard a lot of things about Jane Green's writing. It's apparently very good. Sing Sweet Nightingale by Erica Cameron, and this is part of the Dream War saga. And what I know about this book is it's focused and set in the dream world. I recently read Dreamwalker by Lindsay Smith, and I really did like that one. I thought the dream world was done fantastically, so I can't wait to get lost in another dream world. What I know about this one is that she's in love with somebody who's in the dream world. She refuses to speak in real life as dedication to the man that she loves there, and that man tells her that he's found a way where she can stay there forever, but of course there's some issues before she can get permanently into the dream world to be with him. So I think that's such an interesting premise, and I can't wait. Fearless by Francine Pascal, which is actually quite a big book, but what I've gathered from it is that this girl knows how to kick some serious butt. She's got the best reflexes possible. This girl knows how to hold her own. But there's something about her that really sets her aside from everybody else, and that is she lacks the gene that gives you fear. She is basically fearless. Now, I know that sounds epic to a lot of people, but I'm pretty sure that it comes with its own problems as well as that, and I'm very interested to see what's going to happen because this book is massive, so I'm assuming a lot of things are going to happen, and I'm looking forward to it. It seems like an actiony young adult kind of book. We also have Seeing Stars by Christiana Jones. I'm just going to kind of like skim over this one because I know nothing about it at all, but look at it, I'll tell you more about it once I've read it. Yep. As I Close My Eyes by Sarah DiCello, think so, is about a girl who lives in the modern day, but every time she closes her eyes and goes to sleep, she transfers into the past, about 100 years ago, I think. Yeah, she goes to the past, which is 100 years before. So she spends her life flipping between these two lives, the one she is now and the one she has 1,000 years ago, every time she closes her eyes to go to sleep. And what she does is she finds out that she's not the only one who's going through this transforming problem of switching between the decades. Interesting premise, you guys. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to finding out who this other person is. I don't know why I'm assuming they're a guy. And also how she might be able to solve a problem. And if she does solve a problem, which world does she want to live in? She can be like Hannah Montana, you know. You got the best of both worlds. The last two things that she gave me was Mythology of Touch by Mary Stone Dockery and Aching Buttons by Mary Stone Dockery. They're both by the same poet. They're very small little like paperish books, but they are full of poetry. If you know me, I actually really love poetry a lot. I'm working right now on my own poetry anthology, so I'm looking forward to reading some more poetry. Part 2 of this epic haul. Okay, so part 2 is books that I've received for review this month. The first one up is The Quest for Integrity by Jas Winder. Now, I was a bit hesitant when I picked this one up because it's a political thriller and I'm not very much into politics. Actually, that's a lie. I always tell people that I'm not into politics when it comes to books, but I'm very much into politics when it comes to books. So actually, I'm not hesitant anymore. This is a political thriller and I'm very interested to see how it's going to play out. Next one is Sunfail by Steve Seville. I am so excited to read this book, you guys, because it's basically an apocalyptic story where the sun is failing, the world is going into darkness, and as well as that, this main character knows that there's some kind of like underground organization going on who is an enemy, and he's just struggling here to fight an enemy that he can't even see, but he just knows is there. Doesn't that sound fantastic? And then darkness is taking over the world, everybody's in panic, and as well as that, Steve Seville is an author who has written for the show Doctor Who. You guys, Doctor Who is one of my favourite shows ever. Like, I love it so much. And knowing that the author who wrote for Doctor Who is now writing a book and it's all wonderful, I want to read it. Yeah. Got 3 copies of Annabeth Never Ending by Layla Kadar Down. Now, I got 3 copies because when she sent me this for review, she did say, I'm going to send you some extra copies so you can give away! Yay! So I know that when I write my review, I'll give away 1 book with my review, and I'll keep 1 for another giveaway later on in the year, maybe for a milestone or something. But it's an Egyptian mythology, and this girl is having dreams about like Egypt and all that, and then there's 2 boys in her dreams, but then she meets those 2 boys in real life, and she's wondering, hang on, what's going on? How are you guys actually living people that I've never seen before, but now I see? And you're featuring in my Egyptian mythology dreams. Now, you know me, I love Percy Jackson, I love Greek mythology. I haven't really dived into Egyptian mythology much, but I'm about to. Now we're going to get into the 3rd section of this haul, which is giveaway books plus the only book that I bought for myself. I only bought myself 1 book this month. I am so proud of myself. Even though I've added like 30 books to my collection, it's not of my own free will. People just give it. That's such a lie. I accept these books, you know. I accept them. So I'm still to blame. But I only bought 1 book, so I'm saving money. The first book I'm running a giveaway is Twilight Visor by Riel Lapline. And I don't really know much about it other than that this is like a thriller, really action-packed, and the reviewer who reviewed it when I entered their giveaway was so enthusiastic about it, which gives me high hopes. I've got the Young Writers Literary Journal 2015. I am just going to do a little bit of promo for this book because this is wonderful. I am a member of the Young Writers Society, which is a website where young writers can post their work and get reviews and feedback on it for absolutely free. You review other people's work and they'll look at yours, and it's just like an exchange. It's a brilliant community as well. I'm a moderator there, so I help moderate the site. I've talked to a lot of people on there, and everybody's just so nice. It's such a lovely website. And annually they try to publish a journal where they feature like 30 of the students' works, 30 of the young writers' works. So they just pick and choose. They get like 269 applicants every year, and they have a team of people who read through them, and then they pick out the best 30 and they put it into a young writers literary journal. And I'm also promoting this because one of my short stories and one of my own poems is in this journal, and the poem is called She Had Asthma, and the short story is called Running for Dreamers. So you should definitely pick this one up, buy it. As soon as you buy it, the ebook version is free as well if you're like really anxious to start reading it. And yeah, read my story, read my poem, read this wonderful stuff, and then join the website. I'll leave a link below. And finally, we're going to move on to the last book of this haul. Thanks for bearing with me this long, and that is 10,000 Skies Above You by Claudia Gray. I got this actually, you know what? I got this with a gift card. So it cost me 0 money. I spent 0 money on books this month, and I didn't get any books for Christmas. So I won a gift card and I bought 10,000 Skies Above You by Claudia Gray. Funny story is, I've already read this one. It's the sequel to 1,000 Pieces of You. I received 1,000 Pieces of You and this book for review before their release dates, and I reviewed them on my blog, link below. And every time that I've reviewed it later on in the year, I've gone and bought a paperback copy to add to my collection just because I love them so much. Mwah. And it can go on my shelf immediately. It's about a girl called Marguerite who travels between dimensions for different reasons, and there's also a group of people who are bad and want to take this travelling through dimensions for their own advantage, to make them more money, to smuggle stuff, and it's all really bad. And Marguerite happens to be the perfect dimension traveller, because if you stay in a dimension for too long, you kind of forget who you are, so you need a reminder, and you can only set a certain number of reminders on the Firebird before you have to go back. So that's a disadvantage. But Marguerite doesn't need reminders. So the bad company kind of want to take her, and they keep threatening her and her family and doing all this evil stuff to have her, and this book is just brilliant, you guys. The characters are wonderful. There's a love triangle, but you know what? Love triangle, not Illuminati. The love triangle is just so fantastic. For the first time ever in a book, I chose a team. In the first book I switched back, and by the time I got around to this book, I've switched back again. So That's how good the love triangle is. It has me switching teams. That never happens with me. I'm always one team for life. But now I think I am this team for life. So, read it. This cover is just beautiful. It's beautiful. That is it. That's all the books that I got for this month. I want to know, what books did you get this month? Please like, comment, share, subscribe this video. It'd be a big support to me. And I will have a massive haul next month. I'll have a massive haul next month. I'll see you guys with another video next week. Bye. It's my life right there.